Is that good for the thumbnail? Happy New Year, everyone! I hope y'all are having a fantastic evening tonight. I'm sitting here with my fancy glass of chocolate milk. Hope I don't have a chocolate milk mustache over top of my actual mustache during this whole video. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for an amazing year. I mean, seriously. When I started this year, 2023, I hit 100 subscribers for the first time in January. It is now, as of the time of recording this, December 26th of 2023, and I have 3.45 thousand subscribers. That is mind-blowing to me. My goal for the end of this year at first was 100, then it was 300, then it was 1,000, and like, guys, like, it's absolutely insane to me. I'm just so incredibly grateful. I can't wait to see what next year holds. I figured for this final video of the year, I would just kind of, other than thank you guys profusely for, enjoying the whatever it is I put out, enjoying these videos, whether it be the animations, the drawing videos, the media reviews, or any of it. Like, I mean, it's just been an awesome journey. I love creating things. I've always loved creating things. But the other thing I was going to do is just kind of look at some of the videos I've put out this year and, just talk about them, I guess. I don't know. The first video I put out in January of 2023 was my review of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I had done a few different media reviews in the past, mostly book reviews. That's actually what I started my channel doing, was doing reviews on books, a lot of Stephen King books. Again, my first video of 2023 was reviewing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Right now, it's only sitting at about 208 views. I mean, honestly, that was pretty good for me at the time, and it's still pretty good for me now. So I just decided to keep rolling with that. And, I was playing Scarlet and Violet, well, specifically Scarlet, a lot during that time period. So it was on the forefront of my mind. I was making jokes with my friend Wes when we were battling each other one day about the move Population Bomb. I had this funny idea for, it started out as just like a picture that I drew, and I actually drew the picture late 2022, I think in like December or something. I ended up turning that picture into an animation where the family, a mousehold from, the Pokemon games, they're just throwing their children at different Pokemon. And that's like their whole attack. And that actually ended up getting a good bit of views, like several hundreds, even thousands. And I was like, holy crap. I remember the first day I uploaded that video, it gained like, I think 300 or 400 views like that night, and I was blown away. I'd never had a video blow up like that on me before. I was excited. I had posted animations before this, and even a couple Pokemon animations, at least one. Like I said, none of them had gotten that kind of attention. So I just kept rolling with that ball, and I ended up uploading a video called Skeledirge using Torch Song, where the fire starter Pokemon for the Scarlet and Violet games, he like is starting to sing, because that's like one of his attacks, and it ends up being opera, and it was just a goofy idea that again randomly popped into my head, and I remember that got to like 16,000 views at one point, and now it's at 54K. It's still my most viewed video on the whole channel. And I was over the moon with that. I was like, okay, Pokemon videos. That's what I'm going to be doing, is a bunch of Pokemon animations. I hit 100 subs shortly after that for the first time, so I just kept going with the Pokemon animations. I did a Rhett and Link animation. Those weren't doing as good, but I was still pretty proud of them. I thought they were pretty funny. But they weren't blowing up like how the other ones were, which was fine because I don't want to limit my channel to just one thing. That's something that I kind of have always wanted to avoid. And I know a bunch of really, really successful YouTubers will tell you to just find one thing and stick with it and just keep doing that one thing over and over and over again, which is a pretty good strategy. Like, I'm not gonna knock it, and they will know what they're talking about, honestly. However, I always saw the idea of a YouTube channel being similar to a channel like what you would find on TV. A channel is not just going to play one show constantly. You know what I mean? I mean, some of them might. MTV and ridiculousness. Oh, I'm sorry. A little bit of a cough there. You know, I wanted it to be a variety of things. I wanted my channel to represent me and everything I like to create. So I made this one video where I just took a photograph, because I mean, I like photography a little bit too. I'm not like a professional photographer or anything, but I always like to enjoy just little bits of nature. And there's like this like little pond or a lake or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty close to my house, so I took a picture of that and thought it would be funny if I drew a Gyarados living in that lake. So I just kind of made a video of my process of making that work of art, and it didn't do a whole lot. It's got like under 100 views. It's got 72 views right now, so you know, it didn't blow up, but it's just something I wanted to make, so I went with it. After that, I ended up making a video where I'm reviewing the series Death Note, and that got back up into the hundreds of views. So I think that's sitting at 371 right now. So that is still a success in my book. That was also the longest video I had made at the time at 37 minutes. I'm still impressed with that, and I think it's a solid video still. Like, I mean, all my videos are a little rough around the edges. I'm still learning. I'm still, you know, practicing all kinds of new things all the time. I feel like I've gotten slightly better as time has gone on, but I still think that video holds up pretty well. But since my animations were doing the best, I decided to make a Death Note animation to go along with my Death Note review. And I just was like, what if Light Yagami wanted to go get some Taco Bell and everything kept getting in his way, so he just kept killing people on his Death Note trying to get his Taco Bell fix. And that video did pretty good. It got like 3,000 views or something, and I'm pretty proud of that. That's probably still honestly my favorite animation on the channel. Funnily enough, right when I was about to upload that, I saw where another channel had posted a meme about like Light and L and Misa wanting Taco Bell or something. Like they were arguing about fast food or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. It had Death Note and Taco Bell and like the thumbnail and the title, and I was like, what are the odds of this happening? And I had already spent like hours of my time animating this, so like couldn't take it back now and change it to like McDonald's or something. But it worked out, you know. I still think it's fine. There's another Pokemon animation, did good, got over 1,000 views. I painted a Slowbro, not so good. I mean, I like the painting. It's actually this painting right here. I think it turned out pretty good, better than what I was expecting. I'm learning painting still. Like, I'm not that great at art, okay? But I was pretty proud of it. It only has 22 views at the moment. So I started to kind of get, okay, maybe people don't want to watch me draw like that as much, or maybe I need to find my formula for my drawing videos. I made, like, the Mario movies was coming out, so I made a Bowser animation, which I kind of animated Bowser over a Tenacious D song, and I think that turned out pretty funny. It hardly got any views, like less than 200. That's also one of my first videos to get copyright strike. Not striked, copyright claimed. The less severe of the two. I forget which one it is. Anyway, I think that kind of prevented that from being pushed out too much. I did a review on the Super Mario Brothers movie. That got several hundred views. I'm pretty happy with that. That one was spoiler free. I kind of like to do spoiler... Let me take a drink of this chocolate milk. Hold on, I'm talking too much. I kind of like to do spoiler videos because I feel like talking about the plot is a lot more fun than just being like, the movie was good. When a movie's brand new like that, I don't want to go into too many spoilers because I want people to go out and watch the movie and support it while it's in theaters, not knowing what's going on, especially. Along with the Mario videos, I would upload shorts. I started uploading shorts this past year as well, where I would, you know, it'd just be a time-lapse drawing of me drawing like a character or something like that. Some of those did pretty okay. I think a lot of my subscribers came from me drawing Princess Peach as a short. I had a lot of the Mario characters drawn out ahead of time because a lot of times I'll do these things in like a day or two and then like schedule them. And right when I uploaded Peach was right after the movie came out, and that song Peaches, 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 Peaches became very popular, and that blew up. Like, that was one of my most successful shorts to date. I can't remember how many views it has right now. I think last time I checked was like 47,000, something along those lines. I think that's where a good chunk of you guys came from. Like a good chunk of my subscribers. I don't know how many of you who watch the rest of my videos, because again, a lot of the time-lapse drawings I do, they're really hit and miss. And with the time-lapse drawings, I don't feel like you get a lot of my personality. Like, you'll get my art, but you don't get a lot of me. And I want to be personal with you guys. I want to have like a relationship with you. You know, I want you to know, like, that's Austin. Like, that's the Lemon Squid, or whatever you want to call me. Other than just liking my art, I want you guys to like me, which that sounds desperate when I say it that way. But again, I want this to be a relationship, not just something you'll watch and immediately forget about. How I feel towards other, YouTubers that I watch, not necessarily like a parasocial relationship, but like, I feel like I could know them a little bit, and when I watch them, I think, oh, I would be friends with that guy in real life. We could have that. You could have that. But yeah, so that's why I don't do the time-lapse drawings as much. I'll still do them occasionally, but I want to do more voiceover things, so again, you kind of get more of me in them. I did a storytime video. I've done several storytime videos in the past, and I think a lot of those hold up, if not all of them. Again, the editing and stuff gets better through time, but I think one of the only storytime videos I did this year was Tales from the Grocery Store, when I used to work at a certain grocery store that will not be named. I told a little bit of stories from my time there, and that did okay. Got 150 views as of right now, and I kind of want to do more of those, because those are always pretty fun. There's definitely some times I can think of that I could animate into more videos, and I've had all kinds of jobs. I've worked at the grocery store, I've worked at dollar stores, I've worked at liquor stores, I've worked at cell phone stores. They all sound like boring titles, but there are some things that happen, especially in the city that I grew up in, that those tend to be very interesting jobs, especially the liquor store. Oh my gosh. I won't tell you too much at the moment, but I don't know how I've not made a video of that yet. I'm going to put that on the list. After a couple more animations and another movie review, I started something that really kind of got popular, especially on my Instagram. Like, it did okay on YouTube, but that's when I got into doing the 30-second drawings. Those are... I didn't know how well they would do. I knew they would be kind of fun, or at least interesting for a little bit, but I would just sit down and my nephew or my fiance would just whip out their camera, or whip out their phone, I guess, and use it as a timer. I would give them my phone to use as a camera, and we would just sit, and I would try to draw something. I think the first one I did was Bowser, and I did a bunch of Mario characters at first. I would just do my best to draw a character in 30 seconds and, see how good it was. I wouldn't practice a lot ahead of time, but it was just kind of like a fun little thing. And like I said, on my Instagram, that really started to blow up after a while. And my Instagram went from, I think at the beginning of this year, I had 300 followers, but I had 300 followers for like years at that point. Instagram was just the thing I would post to. Like, YouTube was my main thing, and Instagram was just kind of secondary, like almost like an afterthought. But after I started posting the 30-second drawings more and more and more, that blew up to the point where I have over 4,000 followers on there now. Instagram has passed YouTube up on my following, which is crazy to me, but I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I'll take it. I had no idea that doing those silly 30-second drawings would do so much for me. And then I ended up getting the idea to do the entire Kanto region of Pokemon after I did the starter Pokemon for Kanto. That was a big project, because there's 151 of them, if you don't know. But I recently just finished all of those. Like, I started the Pokemon 30-second drawings in April, and I finished them about a week ago, and I posted a whole compilation up of them onto the Lemon Squid channel. It's almost 2 hours long. Feel free to watch that. I made a little bit of a cinematic ending to the end of it, where I, spoiler alert, announced that I'm going to continue to draw the 30-second drawing Pokemon things for the Johto region. But I'm going to upload all my 30-second drawings to a secondary channel called 30-Second Squid. So if you haven't, check that out, subscribe to it if you like the 30-second drawings. They're still going to be uploaded to my Instagram as normal, but I just felt like they were really clogging up my main YouTube feed for my main channel. Like I said, they did okay on YouTube. A couple of them would get a couple thousand views, which for shorts is kind of normal, but most of them would sit under 100. And if you go onto my channel and explore it with anything that's not a computer or a cell phone, you would have to scroll through so many shorts just to find my main videos. And I would try to upload a main video like once a week, but if you gotta scroll through 7 shorts, or God forbid if I missed a week, 14 shorts to get to one main channel video, that's kind of a lot of work. And especially if you're looking for a particular one and you can't remember the name of it, and you just gotta keep scrolling through all these shorts. So for organization purposes, and because I think it will hopefully help my main channel videos in the algorithm eventually. I think at first it'll probably be a bad thing, but hopefully this helps it in the end. So my main channel videos will be easier to find. Those will be on the Lemon Squid. My 30-second drawings, I'll still upload those as frequently as I can on 30-second Squid. But again, they'll still be all on my Instagram as normal. I'll also do like compilations of the 30-second drawings, whether I'm doing like a specific series like Pokemon, for example, or if I do like a handful of Mario characters. The compilations I'll put on my main channel because those are full videos at that point. The 30-second Squid's mostly just going to be the shorts. So if you want to see a new short like every day, subscribe to that. If you just want to wait to see the compilations, you know, just stick with the main channel videos. I'll also do like a lot of like requests for 30-second drawings and make a main video out of that and then turn that into shorts. So if you want the best of both worlds, subscribe to both channels. And I know that's annoying when creators have so many different channels for you to follow. I'm going to try to keep this as minimal as possible. Like main channel videos, 30-second Squid videos. It's up to you guys. If you want to follow both of them, great. If you only want to follow one, that's also fine. I appreciate any engagement. It'll whatever works for you works for me, okay? But yeah, anyway, after I started the 30-second drawing stuff, and that's all going on in the background, I wanted to keep up with my animations, keep up with my media reviews. I know I reviewed like the Barbie movie, I reviewed the Twisted Metal show. I tried to experiment with different times drawings, like a 10-minute, 1-minute, 10-second video. I did that for Mario. I want to do more of those because that was fun. I think those could get some views. I made up my own Pokemon, like they're fake Pokemon, Fakemon. And then October was coming, and I wanted October to be special because 1, October is my favorite month. 2, October is my birthday month, which may attribute to why it's my favorite month. But 3, October's got Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday. I'm a spooky little boy. But I kicked that off. I think technically in September is where I kicked it off, but I kicked that off with the first episode of Malcolm and Dave. Now, Malcolm and Dave is my baby. I made a webtoon back in the day, which a webtoon's just a web comic that you upload to the site called Webtoons, called Malcolm and Dave, about an idea I just randomly had where I was like, cats kind of remind me of a serial killer, the way they just like play with their prey and stuff. So I decided it would be funny if I just made a whole comic off of that. And I did that a few years ago, and that was, I got like 300 followers on Webtoon with it. That was like the most successful thing I've ever had to date at that point. And the idea had never left my brain, and I finished Malcolm and Dave, but I always wanted to go back to it, whether it's to make more comics or make an animation or what, but I wanted to go back to it or completely reboot it. So I decided, instead of just sitting on my brain for however long, to start making animations for it. And I can kind of reboot it that way. So it does follow a lot of the same beats, but it's going to be different than the webtoon at the same time. If I just kept waiting to make it and never made it, then it would have not been made. But I started it. Now I got 3 episodes of Malcolm and Dave out, and though they could be better, again, everything I make is a little rough around the edges, I think it's going okay. I'm proud of what I've done with it so far. My buddy Wave Ladesh has made the intro music to it, which I think is sick. My buddy Wes is voicing Malcolm, and he's doing an excellent job. And though the episodes are only a couple minutes long and they take hours and hours and hours to make, I have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm always pretty proud of it by the end of it. And it's great practice for animation and writing, and it's completely original. It's not reliant of you to be a fan of Pokemon or something. You know, it's all mine, you know? And even if nobody else likes it, I like it, and I think that's neat. I did a review on the movie Clown, which I think is a really underrated horror movie. I don't hear near enough people talk about that movie. I did more 30-second drawings. I reacted to scary videos, which I don't know how much I like that, to be honest with you, because I don't know if I'm a good reactor, but I want to be transformative with the content, and I feel like I could have been more transformative with that one. but I just wanted to have another video out. I made a Slender Man animation. I did a couple Five Nights at Freddy's drawing compilations, which again were mostly time lapses. I felt like I could have put a little bit more of myself in there, but that's okay. As I was drawing the 30-second Pokemon, a lot of people kept saying stuff like, can you imagine if you gave this guy 10 minutes? And like, yeah, I mean, guys, I do the time-lapse drawings, but nobody watches those. So I did the 10-minute Pokemon drawings. I did a voiceover over the time-lapse drawing, and I think it ended up being a lot better that way, and I still got to draw some Pokemon, and it ended up being pretty fun. There's still a time limit, but I could make my drawings a little bit better, add some color to them, give them like a background, and yeah, I finished off the year with reviewing the sequel to Death Note, which there's a sequel to Death Note, if you didn't know. This is like kind of news to me, and it's got Donald Trump in it, which... what? Like, what? But yeah, I did a review of that, so feel free to check that out if you want. And the video before this one is the compilation video of all the 30-second Pokemon drawings. And that was my year on YouTube. It was mostly just me rambling in this video. I didn't know how much of all that I was going to talk about. There was no script or anything for this. If you can't tell, that wasn't obvious enough. But I really just kind of wanted to go over what I've done this year so far as like a recap. But the main point of this video is to thank you guys. Like I said in the beginning, thank you so much. Like, this was the most fun year of content making I've had so far. I've experienced the most growth I've ever seen with my following so far. 2023 was awesome, and the years before that, they were kind of rough, you know? Like, in 2020, I lost my dad, and that was probably the worst year of my life. I think he'd be really proud to see what all I've done this year. I know my mom is. Like, she's like my biggest fan. She comments on every single one of my videos, whether they're a short or a main channel video or whatever. Like, my mom's always like the first one to watch it. She's sharing it on her Facebook and everything, but it's just been awesome. It really has been. And I can't wait to see what next year holds. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to get emotional. Holy crap. But that's okay, because emotions are normal. But anyway, so my goal for the end of this year, at one point, was 100 subs, like I said before, and then it was 1,000 subs, and like, I've gone way past that. My goal for 2024, I know this seems like a long shot, but I think we can do it. I want to try for 10K. Like, I know that's crazy. You're like, Austin, you've only got not even 3,500 subs right now, which to some people, they wouldn't say only. They would love to have what I have. Like, over 1,000 people, like, shoot, some people would love to have 100 subs, dude. I'm not going to lose sight of that. Like, that's so many people who decided to click follow to my creations. But I don't think I'm done yet. I think I could do so much more, and I think I'm only going to get better. I'm going to invest in better animation programs and video editing software, and now I want to have time, you know, with my family. I have a full-time job. I have to make time for that, obviously, to pay the bills and stuff. And I want to have times where I'm just having fun, like skateboarding or going to the movies or just doing other things. But I'm going to focus so hard on making the best content I can for you guys and for me. Because if I'm not doing it for me, then what's the point? That might sound selfish, but like, really. But I want to try my best. I think we have so much more room to grow. Creating things is something I've always loved doing, dude. I've been drawing ever since I can remember. I've been making comics since 2nd grade. That was the first like comic book I ever made. I'm never going to stop creating things, so I'm just glad that you guys are here to enjoy this journey with me. I think that's all I want to say for now. I want to take another drink of this milk. I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Peace out. Don't drink and drive. Seriously.